Dear supporters, we want to thank you for supporting the Hope for Children Foundation. Thank you for showing how much you really care about children. We are honored to serve children, teens, families, and other adults. We have a very serious subject to discuss with you about child abuse. We challenge you to answer the following question truthfully. Is child abuse in America a national emergency? Hope for Children Foundation is dedicated to addressing the critical issue of child abuse, which continues to impact our nation. We encourage you to continue supporting Hope for Children Foundation in a serious and overwhelming fight to end child abuse in America. One individual has the authority to declare child abuse as a national emergency, the President of the United States, with the support of the U.S. Congress. No one, regardless of gender or sexual orientation, should experience abuse. Period. And if they do, they should have the services and support they need to get through it. President Joe Biden on March 16, 2022. We urge champions from across the country to unite in our efforts to combat the challenges associated with child abuse. This Hope for Children Foundation 2022 annual report outlines the vital actions required to effectively tackle this issue on a nationwide scale. Child abuse poses a significant threat to our democratic institutions, akin to the impact of the January 6th insurrection. Such abuse undermines the judicial system and the executive branch, including law enforcement and civil services. First-hand experiences and real-world examples demonstrate the urgent need to address the prevalence of child abuse in the United States and break the cycle of abuse. It is imperative to ensure that each alleged abused child receives a thorough and lawful investigation into the abuse they have endured. Just as the January 6th insurrection investigation has paved the way for justice, a comparable approach is necessary for child abuse cases to adequately protect alleged victims. While the cost of such investigations may be substantial, it is a necessary investment in the well-being of our children and the future of our nation. Alleged perpetrators must be legally prosecuted, a marked departure from the current state of affairs, which will ultimately benefit all residents of the United States. We invite you to review the verified child abuse statistics, compiled by Hope for Children Foundation, which cover the years 1992 to 2020 on the front cover of the 2022 annual report. These statistics, sourced from the National Child Abuse and Neglect Data System, NCANDS, from 1992 to 2020, and can be found on the Administration for Children and Families website at acf.hhs.gov. These figures represent the most accurate documentation of child abuse cases in America, although not all child abuse cases possibly may not be included. To verify this information, contact Administration for Children and Families Health and Human Services, 330 Seat Street, SW. Email media@acf.hhs.gov. The issue of violence against children is rooted in the abuse of power, and it demands our attention. President Joe Biden has emphasized the importance of supporting all individuals who have experienced abuse, regardless of gender or sexual orientation. In his 2022 proclamation on National Child Abuse Prevention Month, he further highlighted his administration's commitment to providing equitable support to families in need. This aligns with the mission of Hope for Children Foundation, established in 1998 to address the pressing issue of child abuse. In order to help prevent child abuse and neglect, my administration is committed to providing high-quality and equitable support to all families that need it. President Joe Biden during proclamation on National Child Abuse Prevention Month 2022. The Foundation's inception was inspired by first-hand experiences of heartbreak and injustice, stemming from a case involving the sexual, physical, mental, financial, and spiritual abuse of a child by people she knew. This case, along with others, reveals how the judicial system can at times fail to protect victims due to the abuse of power. In Dallas County, Texas Health and Human Services Child Protective Services Division confirmed the child abuse, yet the victims still faced challenges within the judicial system. It is crucial to recognize that this case is not an isolated incident, many children, women, and men have encountered similar injustices within the judicial system, leaving them vulnerable and unprotected. The goal of sharing these experiences is to raise awareness about the abuse of power and the urgent need to protect and support those affected by child abuse. The Biden administration and Congress have made recent strides in addressing child abuse issues, with the signing of the Eliminating Limits to Justice for Child Sex Abuse Victims Act of 2022 and the launch of the White House Task Force to address online harassment and abuse. Additionally, the Senate is considering H.R. 485 to reauthorize the Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act. While these actions are commendable, more work remains to be done in this critical area. Hope for Children Foundation has a history of supporting victims of sexual assault and domestic violence. In 1999, a letter from the then director of the Violence Against Women Office, Bonnie Campbell, highlighted the importance of the Foundation's mission. The organization has been providing essential training to professionals responsible for protecting victims and raising awareness among the general public since its inception. Thanks to the efforts of then-Senator Joe Biden and Congress in 1994, the Violence Against Women Act, VAWA, was passed, allowing Hope for Children Foundation to include comprehensive instruction on the legislation since 2000. This act, championed by President Biden, has offered improved protection for victims of violent crime, including children, teens, women, and men, when federal VAWA laws are violated. For a deeper understanding of the significance of the Violence Against Women Act, we invite you to review a video training session led by former Assistant U.S. Attorney Mike McCrum. Our website offers over 25 free educational videos and resources related to child abuse prevention and support for victims. The story I am about to share, which is just one of thousands of cases of abuse, demonstrates how the abuse of power in child abuse cases is an attack on our democratic institutions, drawing parallels to the January 6th insurrection. While the violent assault on Congress may appear to be a more overt threat to democracy, the corruption and power abuses in child abuse cases can also have a significant impact on our democratic system. Our democracy relies on the legislative, executive, and judicial branches working together to uphold the law. The January 6th insurrection was a direct attack on the legislative branch, while the corruption in child abuse cases undermines the integrity of the judicial branch. In both instances, the breach of oaths to uphold constitutions and laws poses a considerable threat to the foundations of our democracy. As the January 6th Committee has emphasized, we are a nation governed by laws. The corruption and abuse of power in child abuse cases constitute a direct and significant attack on the legal framework that upholds our democratic system, thus undermining the core values that define our nation. Concise and personal experiences led to the creation of Hope for Children Foundation, an organization committed to safeguarding children in our democratic institutions. We achieve this by providing multidisciplinary training on child abuse issues and the overall functioning of the system, to the entities charged with protecting children, and to the general public. As a children's charity, our mission is to empower and support families by offering expert educational and consulting services, available online for free in all 50 states. Our programs aim to protect children and families in several ways, with a focus on addressing the needs of at-risk youth, particularly in education. We have a strong history of working closely on these efforts, and we continue to build on our previous successes. Hope for Children Foundation strives to ensure that the entire system charged with protecting children operates effectively. We help professionals understand their roles and responsibilities, as well as the interconnectedness of all components within the system, promoting cohesive collaboration. This training is essential for two key reasons. First, the prevalence of child abuse and neglect remains high. According to the Child Maltreatment 2020 report from the Administration on Children and Families, USHHS, an annual average of 659,173 confirmed cases of abused and neglected children was recorded from 2016 to 2020. Furthermore, data from the same agency indicates that between 1992 and 2020, a staggering 23,050,088 children were confirmed victims of maltreatment in various forms. These figures represent the most accurate calculations available for this 29-year period, with no statistics found from the Administration on Children and Families beyond 2020. The FBI reported that 97% of abused children reported to the legal system are not protected by the legal system. Our training aims to significantly reduce this percentage, and when implemented, prosecutors can typically expect a 100% conviction rate of perpetrators. Our training's uniqueness lies in addressing the system as a whole rather than focusing on individual components. We emphasize the importance of collaboration and synergy among all elements to protect children and parents' rights. Our approach aligns with the White House Task Force to address online harassment and abuse, which seeks a coordinated effort among stakeholders to ensure government and judicial systems address pressing issues. Our primary training encourages stakeholders in child abuse cases to collaborate and tackle real problems to protect children and families. At Hope for Children Foundation, we understand that protecting children and improving their lives and their families requires a comprehensive approach that goes beyond addressing child abuse cases that reach the courts. To achieve this, we offer a range of services, including free training seminars, child abuse prevention awareness events, and online video and movie training aimed at reducing crimes of sexual assault and domestic violence against children and adults. Our training materials also cover mental health care, treatment, and pathways to healing. Free online resources and referrals for victims, survivors, and the general public to help reduce sexual assault and domestic violence while promoting healing. Free online resources and referrals for behavior modification to offenders, targeting the reduction of violent crimes such as sexual assault and domestic violence. Over 5,411 job listings in the state of Texas to help unemployed individuals pursue their desired careers. We plan to extend these free services to each state in the nation when funding becomes available. By providing these services, we aim to support those affected by child abuse in a holistic manner, addressing not only the legal aspects but also the emotional, physical, psychological, and social needs of victims, survivors, and their families. We cannot achieve these goals without your support. You are significant to us, and we ask for your continued support for the benefit of our nation's daughters and sons. With sincere gratitude, Patricia L. Hope Kirby Rasmussen, Executive Director, Hope for Children Foundation.